Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the treasure map versus Fuji and Green Bull with a bunch of teams that don't use any of the new batch, being the Karasu, Morley, Legend, treasure map units, all that fun stuff, or doesn't use any of the New Year's batch. I decided to make a bunch of teams for you guys. You guys either got shafted on New Year's, got very unlucky on New Year's, missing something like Sabo, missing something like Luffy, missing something like maybe Wipe It and Ace. Today's video, we're not using any of them. Basically, the goal is to utilize high point boosted teams to get through the final boss stages, blitz our way through the mini bosses, and not use any of the characters that I spoke about. In today's video, obviously we have the 5+ of Sakazuki, and we have the breakdown of all of the treasure map stuff. If you have stuff like Sabo, Luffy, and Wipe It and Ace, obviously they're going to be very high point boosters. You can sub them in basically anywhere on mini boss teams, but ideally you probably want to try and sub them in on the final boss team because they're all like a 1.4 times booster, and they're all going to work out very, very nicely there. Don't stress though, because I will be putting out teams for the New Year's batch, and they're probably going to be the teams that I'm going to be utilizing. I don't really plan on summoning, but like I really do like Morley and Karasu. I'm doing my best not to summon, but look, I might throw 4 multis at it somewhere and just maybe pick up some boosters because I do need treasure map materials as well. I spent a lot over the New Year's, so I do want to try and pick up some more there as well. But let's start off with Tashigi, the first mini boss. They want you to use Uta, which is super annoying because like no one really summoned for Uta. No one should have summoned for Uta, but hey, if you have Uta, bring her here. Everyone gets all the good stuff. And on battle 3, Tashigi is weak to cerebral types. She has a preemptive for an attack down at 90% if you're if you're above a 2x chain lock, which is pretty annoying because like it's very easy to get above a 2x chain lock. 6 turns of burn, full body unfavorable orbs, normal attacks only, and then a barrier for 4 perfect hits for 1 turn. So the team I put together looks a little bit like this. It's not super point boosted, but like you definitely can try and make it more point boosted. The downside is trying to find a way to get around the attack down when you're above a 2x chain. There is a treasure map Blackbeard support if you have it level 1 that will work, but the best way to go to get around it is just to remove that by utilizing something like Yamato, Shihoshi, Mancherry V1. Like those types of characters that can just remove 7 to 10 turns of any debuff are going to work very nicely. Now what I've done here is I've used the combination of Ace and Yamato. Ace is going to allow us to get a 50% cooldown for free spirits, shooters, and dex characters to start the fight. This way you'll actually have Yamato ready to go by that final stage. I put together a full free spirit team so that way Yamato gets her attack boost and her orb buff. Ace can override that orb buff to give a bigger orb buff and a conditional buff. And literally with that, you'll have so much damage that you don't have to worry about anything else. I threw Shanks on this team just to show you guys that you have other barrier barrier removers. But if you have the support of Whitey Bay is just going to remove the 1 turn of barrier, and then you don't have to worry about hitting the perfects, and you don't have to worry about the burn damage either. I threw on Brook for some wave clearing, and I threw on this particular Momo character. Recently pulled them on the latest sort of Sugo Fest. I will level them up and have them ready to go, but they are going to give a full bottle of 1 orbs at the start of the quest, which is going to allow you guys to do a lot more damage. Ace will give you matching orbs regardless, so you'll be able to do some fun stuff there, and team should work fairly nicely. I don't really see the damage being too big of an issue. Momo's going to hit pretty hard because he's got type advantage as well. And Wham Bam, thank you, man. You can throw on probably the Odin support as well, just to give like Momo a little bit more firepower. But like I said, you got attack boost, orb boost, conditional buff, and you'll have the damage reduction conversion buff from Yamato as well. So like you guys will be fine. Like you'll have enough damage. I think Yamato, you have her EX, don't you? Yeah, because you got Brook and then you got 2 aces, so and Momo's there too, so very nice stuff. On to the next mini boss. It is what's his name? I can never remember this guy's name. Karuma. The Admiral Karuma. I think he's an Admiral. No, he's not an Admiral, but he's like a Vice Admiral or something like that. They want you to use the 6+ pudding, and they want you to use 6+ VV Becker. No. Just straight up no. Sanji Pudding are a 1.35 booster. We're going to use them later in the fight. And then obviously VV Becker, like no one has that unit. Dex, Quick, and Psy characters get all the good stuff. Karuma is weak to cerebral characters, just like the last. Preemptive gives you a full board of unfavorable slots. You get 8 turns of paralysis, 6 turns of special by normal attacks only. It's 10 turns of damage reduction and threshold, and then on defeat there's 150k damage. So as you can see, like they really want you to use Sanji Pudding here to remove the 10 turns of damage reduction and threshold. But we're just going to use Gear 5 and we're going to bypass it. The best part about using Gear 5 is you run 2 of them, and then if you have 1 in Gear 5, you bypass the defensive effects, and then the other one still has the revive under his belt. Now, because of the 150,000 damage, you're not going to be sitting around that sort of super high like HP threshold, so most characters that bypass defensive effects can't be applied with damage reduction effects themselves. So utilizing this particular strat, even if you die at 150k, you are going to revive, and then you can basically just call it a day, move on, and you'll be absolutely fine. So he's going to work great. We use EX to bypass the defensive effects. We have Zoro for some wave clearing strats. He's just going to bink turn 1 and turn 2. And then we have Hiyori for some Wano orbs as well. Hiyori's like replaceable with anyone that if you really want to, like it doesn't matter. I just like to bring a character that gives either rainbow orbs or Wano orbs or something at the start of the fight, so that way I can carry them into the final stage and just bypass any annoying orb manipulation shenanigans. It actually makes the run a lot faster when you're doing it for all 4 fights. It's very, very nice. Then we got Chopper, this little treasure map Chopper dude. He does paralysis removal for 5 turns, and then with the help of the Sanji support on Luffy, we can get around another 2. You can use Sanji on Zoro, or you can use Rayleigh on Luffy. You have a bunch of options there. Finally, to get around the special bind, I'm using Carrot and Nami. Carrot and Nami are going to give a chain boundary. They remove the special bind, which works great, and they are going to what's it called? They're going to have the Uta support, so that way you get an attack boost and an orb boost for what's it called, for cerebrals. Now, ideally, like only Carrot's getting the cooldowns, but I think you should be fine actually, because like I think you get 10 turns of cooldown with treasure map legends. You might be able to sort of flip that around. We'll figure that out once the playthrough comes around, but you can always super swap turn 1 and then swap back on the next on the last stage. You just need to be able to use their swap to just bypass the very annoying special binds, but they also give orbs, so that's why I was saying Hiyori is replaceable. So if you want to bring someone that's giving you more points, you can just replace Hiyori there. Moving on to Hina now. Hina, this fight's a little bit annoying because this is where we start getting into the crux of they want you to use the New Year's batch. And remember, we're not including the New Year's batch, including the rare recruits in today's video as well. Fighter powerhouse, free spirit, get all the good stuff. Hina is weak to powerhouse units. Top and bottom row gets stunned. There's 7 turns of attack down, 2 turns of special limit, 99 turns of normal attacks only, 7 turns of threshold, and 3 turns of resilience. Very, very annoying resilience and threshold combination. Also special limit. But one of the recommended characters is actually this particular free-to-play Orochi and Kanjuro. Should have picked them up last month on last month's treasure map. They're actually really, really good because they can remove 8 turns of threshold, which is really nice. They do a bunch of healing as well, but like at the end of the day, like that's not really what they're used for. We're utilizing them here purely as a threshold remover. They also have the special limit removal, so they remove 2 turns of it, which is exactly how many we need. So throw them on the team, limit break, expand them, so you can actually get that done. As for the stun, I'm utilizing this Blackbeard and Shiryu unit. Blackbeard and Shiryu cut your HP by 80%, then they throw the damage back, which is great because that way you can, again, bypass the stun. Just make sure they're in the middle row, and with them, actually, they can use the Magellan support, which is going to poison. Poison is actually going to bypass the resilience, and the enemy doesn't have full immunity, so the enemy's only got normal attacks only, so you can actually just apply this poison, and then you just get around the resilience that way. Another option is utilizing that Mihawk. I thought I'd just sort of include him in the video as well, just showing you guys that you do have options there with end of turn damage on the final stage. We are using Vista as a wave clearer because powerhouse characters get cooldown. He's going to be ready to go. We can double blink his special, and then Shiroshi's giving us the rainbow orbs, just as I mentioned with Hiyori on the previous fight. As for the attack down, we're utilizing Kaku and Rob Lucci. Now, I've included Vista on this team because I know a lot of people don't have Rob Lucci Kaku, but they are purely just an attack down remover. At the end of the day, you could replace this unit with something like Hina, or any other character that is just immune to attack down as a captain. You have units like K-Dad versus Blackbeard, what's her name? Atlas, those types of characters that are just going to be like, hey, I don't really care about your attack down, we're just going to bypass it. Rayleigh Gaban's another one, and then obviously you have the 6+ Rayleigh, who's another really, really good option as well. So besides this unit, there's not too many units that are built to bypass attack down. You can throw on a whole bunch of supports, but if you have this character, you can use them as a wave clearer as well, and that's probably what I'm going to do in my runs. But as for actual characters that can kind of get around it, they didn't really give us that many options. So if we go to reduce enemy effects, if we reduce attack down, as you can see here, like, we don't have like too many characters at our disposal. You could throw on the free-to-play Robin, and then you could use the support of free-to-play Frankie. You have, like I said, you have Hina. You have this Chopper as well, who we're using in another crew, but he's another option there. And then you have Jinbei too, so he can use the attack down removal too. So there are characters that can do it, but the Lucci Kaku is going to be the best option. Moving on to the final mini-boss fight now, we have Kizaru. Kizaru, they want you to use Garp, Kainu, and the new Luffy. Strength, Quick, and Side characters get all the good stuff. And Borsalino is weak to fighters. On the preemptive, you get a full board of Strength, Dex, Quick, basically any type orb is what you get. 1 turn of special reverse, 3 turns of hunger, 12 turns of a defense up, massive defense up, 3 turns of damage reduction, normal attacks only, delay immunity, there's a territory and a slot barrier for 3 recovery slots for 4 turns. So pretty annoying stuff there. But then what we're doing here is I just sort of read all of the defensive effects and immediately thought of Carrot. If you have Carrot at level limit break 5, you are going to allow her to set defense to 0. The enemy's only immune to delay, so you actually can do this. So utilizing this strat is actually going to work out really, really nicely. She also gives orb buffs. She gives us the cooldowns. You can use the Brûlé support, so that way you get around to the special reverse, and then she's giving everyone cooldowns for the final stage as well. I just slapped on Luffy because he has hunger removal here. I believe it's 3 turns of hunger. No, it's only 2 turns of hunger. Do we need 2 or 3? We need... Oh, it's gone. We're going to need... Oh, we need 3 hunger stacks. So we're probably going to have to find a way to just, like, get a bunch of... what's it called? To either get another hunger remover here, or we're going to need to bring someone that can do 3 turns of it. Alright, so I just substituted in Bon Clay. Obviously, if you have the Garp rare recruit, he's going to give you the hunger removal as well. He's another really good option. But this Bon Clay removes 3 turns of hunger, so he's going to work great. And you can obviously turn him into a quick slasher or anything that you guys need there. Wave clearers, we have Vista, then we have Izo Kiku. Then we have the Rainbow Orbs of Shiroshi V1. So, as I mentioned before, if you have Rainbow Orbs, like it just makes life a lot easier when it comes to those very annoying and pesky final stages. Another really good option you can use is there's the Pikqchu Luffy, the 5+ Luffy. I think he'll have his cooldowns ready to go as well. And that way you get a full body recovery orbs on the final stage, and then you also can remove hunger with him too. So, team should work out fairly nicely. Obviously, now having Bon Clay, not having Luffy for the attack boost is a little bit annoying, or the color affinity boost. But at the end of the day, like, these teams are pretty much only getting us to the max threshold of milestone points, and then we're sort of just calling it a day there and moving on. Should still work fairly nicely, honestly. You got Carrot. She's going to be hitting fairly hard. On to the final boss fights. This is where we get into the crux of the video, because at the end of the day, all of those mini boss fights, you can run them however you want. You don't have to run speed strats like I do. You can run boosted strats like some people do. But yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, you really want to get to this particular point and get as many points on the final stage as possible. The annoying thing about this treasure map is they basically built the team for you. Like, they basically said, this is the team we want you to run. Use this team and you will win. Use this team and you will get all of the points. So, look, it is what it is. But you don't have to use them. Obviously, that's the best thing about treasure map every month. We always find a way to get around it. But, as always, we are using a Morley and Carousel friend captain. I understand and I know that people are going to sit there and say, Stump, I don't have Morley and Carousel on my friends list. They're hard to find. But at the end of the day, when it comes to treasure map, like, it's the one downside to the game mode is finding a friend captain here is going to be a must. And if you can't, I would probably look at just farming out New World. Like, Grand Line. Just move to Grand Line for a month, farm that up there. You'll still get plenty of rewards. I know people that farm Grand Line and have access to these types of characters. So it's up to you guys. If there's enough demand on this video, I will look at making another team just for the mini boss, just for the intrusion, that does not use Morley and Carousel as a friend captain. At the end of the day, though, you can pretty much replicate what they're trying to do for the fight. They have special rewind removal in their captain. They remove paralysis. They give cooldowns. They also remove poison. That's going to be the big draw to the character and what we're going to look at sort of replacing when it comes to these particular teams. On the stage 1, Dex, Strength, and in-character, get all the good stuff. And on turn 2, you get a full board of poison slots, paralysis, attack down if you're below a 2.4 chain. You get poisoned, and then you get 99 turns of normal attacks only. On defeat, the enemy will run away. And then on battle 3, the enemy is weak to cerebrals. They give you left column special reverse for 10 turns. You also get right column special bind. And then your special limits go to 2. You get paralysis slots, full immunity, normal attacks only, and 6 turns of damage reduction. So I think I actually mucked up my placements here. So yeah, I mucked up my placements, but that's okay. I've gone in and I've fixed it before we dive in. So, team looks a little bit like this. It is basically like a full cerebral team with Akainu. Akainu's a 1.4 times booster. The only other 1.4 booster we have is the Orochi and Kanjuro unit, but like Orochi and Kanjuro, like, they're driven powerhouse and they just kind of don't fit on this particular team. as well as I would like them to. So team looks like this. We're running Atlas as captain so we can get around the attack down on turn 2. You can use Atlas as special on turn 2 as well. You're not going to need it on the final stage. It's a little bit annoying because your right-hand column is going to get special bound. Your left-hand column gets special reversed, but the special bind is pretty hard to bypass because you do need 10 turns of special bind removal. It's easy with Morley and Karase to get around the special reverse, but the special bind is a little bit of a challenge. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to use everyone's specials on the right-hand column. Atlas can be your attack booster. You have 3 turns of color affinity with Sanji and Pudding, and then we have Nami and Karina to remove the paralysis. With the help of the Brook support, you get around 8 turns of it. Works out really, really nicely, and then you can move into the final stage. On the final stage, there's also poison on turn 2 as well. We're not really going to worry about the... Oh, no, we do have to worry about the poison. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is where, I got my sides mixed up. So we're going to have to use the Morley and Karase special on turn... What's it called? On turn 2. That just removes the poison. I mean, you could actually... now that I'm thinking about it, you could definitely do this. I totally spaced on this. You could do that and then save the Morley Karase special for the final stage. That way you completely remove the poison. You completely remove the poison slots as well. Works out really nicely. Yeah, that's going to be the best way to do it. And then you can use, like I said, use Morley Karase on the final stage. They're going to rotate the paralysis orbs. We have the Vegapunk special here. Vegapunk's going to give us any buff that we like. Probably going to be an attack boost because we can use the super type of... Or can we use the super type of you? I don't think so, actually. We need 6 cerebral characters. Yeah, no, so we need 6 cerebral characters. We actually can't get your super type. That's annoying. Still, it's probably going to be an attack boost because attack boosting just works the best. Utilizing Vegapunk to be that is just, it's really, really nice. We can throw in maybe a support for some chain boosting shenanigans on the final stage as well. That could be a lot of fun. You can actually replace, now I'm thinking about it, we can actually do this. This one. Yeah, we can actually do that. That way we get an attack boost and a chain boundary for Crocodile, and we actually get, no, actually we can't do that. Yeah, we can't do that because we actually need the special limit for 2 turns, which is what Vegapunk's actually on the team for. He has that ability to just remove 5 turns of it, and then you're just pretty much just good to go there. A little bit annoying, but he's just a very, very good character. Finally, we have the threshold removal with Kainu. If you want to, you could probably do something like this, and then use the Sanji Pudding special to remove the threshold. That's also going to work, and then you just like kind of don't have to worry about a Kainu. But again, you have 3 turns of color affinity with Sanji Pudding, so you may as well utilize it there, and then just use Sakazuki on the final stage. I believe he gives an orb buff to fighter characters, if I remember correctly. So you could technically use this orb buff to make Atlas and what's his name? Atlas and Sanji Pudding hit really, really hard. That could definitely be a wave there too. So that's the team. Should work out fairly nicely. I don't really see too many issues with it, but if you guys do, let me know in the comment section below. As for the Intrusion fight now, we are utilizing Morley Karase again as a friend captain. They've pretty much built the team for you here, saying this is what we want you to use, but we're not using any of that today. Cerebral, Free Spirit, and Fighters get all the good stuff. On turn 2, your middle row character will get swapped to captain, so either it's middle left or middle right. If you close the app, you can manipulate this and always be the middle right, but that's up to you guys. You have full body either block or paralysis orbs. Bottom row gets 4 turns of special reverse, and then you get special orb locked. So you can't actually get special cooldown just by passing turns. For 5 turns, when attacking with any type orb, I believe it is, and recovery slots, you get a 99% attack down, 1 normal attacks only, and then full immunity. There is an interrupt on slot change that just basically turns all your orbs back into block orbs for an unlimited amount of times. Full heal, retreat on defeat, and then Sakazuki is weak to free spirit characters. And then you have a bunch of different stuff depending if you have strength, dex, or quick captain, or you have a Sai or an int captain. Now remember, on turn 2, you are going to get your captain swapped into on turn 2, so you can kind of manipulate this however you guys like, and ideally they want you to use Sabo and they want you to use Luffy, so it doesn't matter which one you get swapped into. You can kind of bypass the effects that way. And basically what the difference is if your captain is strength, dex, or quick, you get a whole bunch of paralysis. And if your captain is Style Int, you get a bunch of Despair. Obviously, Sabo bypassing Despair, Luffy bypassing the Paralysis. That's why they want you to use those particular characters. So, the rest of the stuff is basically the same. You get Burn, there's Damage Reduction, there's a Territory, Normal Attacks only, Full Immunity, and then a full board of block slots. So, everything gets turned to block. So, you have to, and then remember, if you do a slot change, you are going to get a full board of bomb slots and then 99 turns of 1 random character being blown away, which is very, very annoying. So the team I put together, it looks a little bit like this. We are utilizing Koala as our captain, because Koala can actually trigger the super type of Morley and Karasu, so that actually works out great. As for turn 2, basically your middle row captain is going to get swapped in. With this, we're basically going to either see Sanji and Pudding or Nami Karina. With Nami Karina or Sanji and Pudding, we have full boost because everyone is either Cerebral or Fighter. Nami and Karina being Rainbow captains, obviously. This means that no matter what happens, we're only getting the paralysis on the final stage because we've got Strength, Dex, or Quick captains. So that works out really, really nicely. And we have the utensils to get around paralysis. We don't really have the utensils to get around despair. So you're going to end up with one of those two as captains. Your bottom row gets special reversed. You get full bottle block orbs and paralysis orbs. And then there's the very annoying stuff if you guys don't have tandem slots. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to remove the paralysis orbs with our... what's his name? Our... Vegapunk unit. Vegapunk can remove paralysis, and then you can choose a buff. Basically, he's just going to rotate the paralysis orbs, and then the enemy's going to rotate them back into block orbs, and that's where we can then use the super swap of Nami and Karina to give us a full board of G orbs. So that way we can just tap through this that stage, and then we can move into the final stage. You can also use the super type of Morley Karasu here, but I just plan on using the super swap, getting a full board of G orbs, and then just moving on there. Onto the final stage against Kainu. Basically, we're just going to pop the rest of our specials and basically just win. We have Nami to get around some paralysis. We also have the Morley Karasu special to get around some paralysis. Nami's also bypassing the damage reduction. I'm not worrying about the territory. I'm not worrying about the burn. Basically, with this particular team, the idea is Croc's going to be an attack boost, chain boundary, and or buff thanks to the support of... Zoro, Sanji, Pudding, they can actually heal us, overheal. We have more healing shenanigans with Koala, and both of them can be color affinity. And then we have the base attack boost and the super type and all that fun stuff from Morley Karasu. So that's the team for the Intrusion. It should work out fairly nicely. All the teams should work fairly nicely, but if you have any issues or I missed over anything, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely pin the comment. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!